in between. So you can watch the line, right?
Yeah, yes.
So in the seat in between, you can pay
Oh,
attention.
there's.
Hare Krishna.
Okay.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hi, Krishna. So I welcome you all on behalf of ISKCON Nairobi, and I'm traveling from Delhi. I've come all the way from Delhi. So I thank you all for joining me in here. So today the topic is anger management. Do we really get angry, all of you? Do you get angry? Yes? Yes or no? And all of you at the behind, the students, you don't get angry? You never have anger in you? It's a very common emotion. It's a very common reaction. It's a very easy reaction to give up to our feelings, our frustration. Sometimes we don't like things, we don't like the things, they go like how we want them to go. We don't like how, sometimes we don't like any person's behavior, we don't like any reaction from somebody. So we get frustrated, we get angry. And it is actually said, it's a very strong emotion. It's so strong that it can kill all other emotions. It's very strong. All the good qualities can be killed in one go by anger. Once there was a fight going on with the vices and the good things, divine and the demonic qualities, they were fighting. And everything was going and getting lost there. The good qualities got lost all the time. Like the good qualities were getting all the time, they were losing on the battle. And when they were losing the battle, and sometimes it was happening, when the good quality went, it killed the 10 bad qualities. And now the demons were worried, what's happening? We are giving all the bad qualities there, dishonesty, and non-tolerance, non-impatience, everything is going, but that's one good quality comes and it kills, humility comes and it kills all the bad qualities. So, anger was very much eager to go. Anger was not yet sent, and anger said, let me go. You just leave me, see what I can do. I can kill all the good qualities in one go. And when literally the anger was sent, it could kill all the good qualities. And when anger comes, it can kill, it can actually, Krishna says, it's your biggest enemy. It's Sarvabhakshi Papi Shatru, he says. It's a most sinful, all devouring enemy. It can kill everything. What all we have gained, all the good qualities we have gained throughout our life, what a little spiritual life we have gained throughout our life, it can kill everything. So it's a very strong emotion. It's the biggest enemy. And it's the punishment we give to ourselves. We are the biggest victims of anger. Nobody else gets, if we are angry on someone, he is not going to get affected that much. He may have it for a momentary reaction. He may leave the place. But you will suffer in that anger throughout. You become the victim of anger. We will discuss more about it. We are going to enact a skit, a drama before you, so that you may understand how anger works. Sometimes we don't understand. We say, oh, I will not get angry. I am a very good person. I will not get angry, or I don't get anger. Anger doesn't come to me so quickly. But a little skit, a drama will show you that make you understand that how anger can come in a very subtle way, and it can spoil your whole day, whole life. It can spoil it. It starts in the mode of passion. Passion is, if you go to the Bhagavad Gita, we all know what mode of passion is. Mode of passion makes you work more for more. It's a passion, it's a mode that is very hungry, we say. It's full of hunger. We look for more. We want to work more hard. We want to earn more money. In the morning, if you get up, early morning, you see that the more of goodness is at work. Everything is very peaceful. We say, no, it's so peaceful, so calm early in the morning. And as soon as 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, you see people are running and rushing on the roads they have the jobs to take on. The students are rushing to the school. Everybody is rushing. The women are those who are housewives, they are rushing in and out of the kitchen, they are getting everything ready, and those who are working, the parents, the family is working, all the husband and wife both working, they are running out. That's mode of passion at work. And then this anger takes birth there, and it actually is in mode of ignorance. It takes you. It leads you to mode of ignorance. In subtle way it starts in mode of passion, but it culminates in mode of ignorance. Mode of ignorance is one where there is all darkness. You get lost. Those people who get angry at very small things, frustration at very small things comes to them, take over them. They get stressful, they get full of anxiety, and they fall into mode of ignorance. So anger is our biggest enemy. We have to, at least, we cannot kill this enemy. We can manage this. Managing it is in our hands. I will speak about many stories about it. One or two stories we'll take. We'll take the drama also. And the cause of anger, you can see on your screens. The cause of anger. The causes of anger, sometimes it's jealousy, it's worry. We are jealous of others, we get angry when they get something and we don't have it. That's when the jealousy comes up. At least we should know the causes. When we know the causes, prevention becomes better. It's easy to prevent it. It's easy to cure it. The disease can be cured if we know the cause of it. So jealousy is, it says, there are these vices that live in our heart, The Bhagavad Gita tells that. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, hope you all know who Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is. He talks about these. He says these all things, these vices, they live in our heart. The sitting place is there, in our senses, in our heart. So jealousy, worry. When you worry about something, lot of worry, what happens? You get frustrated, you get angry. And then the frustration in itself, it's a part of anger. The fear. When we are very fearful, we get angry. I'm not talking about anger, doesn't especially mean we get angry on somebody else. We get angry on ourselves also. That's the fear. We are scared of something. That's again a part of anger, that emotion that is in us. We have to overcome, we have to manage all this. Krishna teaches us to manage the fear, manage the pain. We talk about all these things. We manage them. We can't eradicate them totally. I'm being very practical with you. We can't eradicate. We can't finish them off from the root. They will remain. But then we can transform them. Srila Prabhupada says, you can transform your lust into love. That we can do. That's what we learn here. That is spiritual life is all about. That we can transform our lust. The lust that is actually in us, it can be transformed into love. Love is a very pure emotion. And lust is of this material world. But the love we are talking about it's of the spiritual world. The love comes for the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna. So when we have that love for Krishna, love for the spiritual master, that love is the pure form. The lust is very concoated. So the fear, then the guilt. The guilt is again when we do something wrong, we are full of guilt. And that guilt again causes anger. And the sadness. You will say, how come sadness is even a part of anger? Sadness, when we get sad, we have anger at something. When we are sad, we are angry with the person who is not with us at that moment, that he's making us sad. Sadness is also anger. See, the anger works in a very subtle way. It's got many branches, many offshoots. Anger doesn't simply mean that when our volume of voice rises. Anger does not mean when we become violent. Only violence, that's not anger. Now you can see how anger is exhibited. It changes the facial expressions. That's when you're angry at something, Your face gives it out. Your eyes, your movements, they give out. People, before you, they come to know you are angry. Your eyes will become red, or you will change your facial expressions, or you may clench your fist even. You're not able to hit anybody, but you are holding yourself back. Then this is the change in the body language that happens when you are angry. So anger is that emotion that actually reflects on your physical body. It easily reflects on your physical body. So different kinds of language, it's the anger results ultimately in regret. You must have experienced. Sometimes you are angry at somebody, and later on, after when you cool down, actually anger is like boiling milk. When that milk cools down, it settles down. When the milk is boiling, it goes up and it leaves the utensil where it is. But when you just switch off the gas when it's rising up and you switch off the gas below it, it cools down, it goes down. So that's the anger in us. If we are angry at somebody, for some time we will experience all these what we have just read, change in facial expressions, everything. And then if you know that what happens when you're angry at somebody, and after some time when you cool down, you realize that it was not necessary to be angry at that moment. Am I right? That's it. Because sometimes we react so quickly and later on it becomes regret. And anger is such an emotion. It always ends in regret. If a mother, she scolds a child, of course sometimes we have to be strict and stern with the children. But then when suppose she hits the child or she scolds the child, but later on when her anger subsides, she goes and kisses the same child. She pats his head, she loves the child. So that's again, the regret is there, that why did I do it? I should not have done it. So anger always ends up it ends up always in regret. Anger is actually an emotion that comes on a spur of a moment, and it actually kills your intelligence. Krishna talks all about anger. We'll do some verses from the Bhagavad Gita just later on, that how it kills other emotions. So we are going for a drama now before you, for you to decide yourself how anger affects our life. So I will ask the team to set up please hurry up. So there is going to be a scenario before you. A scenario is that there is a child with the parents. So where do you want to enact? Here or here?
This is our dinner table.
Okay. So there's the mother and the father and the child. They are at the coffee table in the early morning. The child is supposed to go to the school, the father to the office, and mother to her office as well. So the three of them are there it's the early morning, they are sitting at their dining table, the coffee table, and they're going to have their breakfast before leaving for their respective destinations. So we will just see how they are going to enact. So here you want to enact?
Should we put everything that side?
Where is your director? Where is she gone? You should be there, no, organize for them. So the mother and the father, they are pleased.
So it's early morning and she's packing her school bag and making breakfast.
So they're going to be at the coffee table. Please sit at the coffee table and let's start the enactment. I will tell them how. So that's the scene.
Not fast, I'm getting late.
So they are at the dining table and they're going to have their early morning glass of juice, all of them. So that's the mother, that's the father on the other end, and the child is in the middle. And suddenly, when they're having their glass of juice,
What did you do? You just ruined my nice shirt. I have a meeting today, an important meeting.
You have to
Oh,
shout
sorry.
every morning. Every
Did
morning.
you see what she did?
You're always shouting at her. You couldn't have taken the butter yourself.
She just ruined my good shirt. I have a very important meeting.
Sorry, I didn't
Your
see
sorry is
you.
not going to help me. Get me another shirt.
You know, I'm not getting your shirt. Get it yourself.
Shirt. Clean. You clean all this things. I'll go get the shirt.
now you see the child was supposed to go to the school. Her bus, she has missed it. The mother has left the home. Both had an argument, the parents, because the glass of juice just toppled over. And the father is very much frustrated in anger, and he is gone to change the shirt, and he's going to take the child. Now the child has missed the school bus. The mother has left. The child has missed the school bus, and the child is being dragged by the father to the school now. He will drag the child to the school in the car. And when they leave in the car, the father is speeding because he's getting late. So gets a ticket for overspeeding now. When he gets a ticket for overspeeding, and he reaches the office now. When he reaches the office, what happens is, he finds out that he's not carrying his laptop today. He forgot the laptop at home. The whole day is ruined. And on the way, when he drops the child to the school, otherwise when the child goes from the home, the parents with full love, they send the child with goodbye kisses and everything. But today, in anger, the child was just pushed out of the car and said, go to your school. And then the child, when the child reaches the school, he or she also gets the anger in her. She's frustrated because today the parents did not act well with her. She had a very bad morning. So the whole day was bad for her. With her teachers, with her friends, she could not concentrate in the school. Likewise, the father's day was ruined. His day was ruined in the office. He didn't have the laptop, he could not go back, he had a ticket, and now he is actually in pain. Then the mother, she also had an argument with the husband over the child, and she leaves for work, but she's not at peace at work. She is also full of anger the whole day. So you see, now we're going to enact the same scenario again for you. So I invite all three of them back. They are going to do the enactment again for you to see how what happens in this situation now. So they are having their breakfast, early morning breakfast.
I'm so sorry, I didn't see that.
It's okay, no problem. It happens. Things fall.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay, it's okay. Let me just go change. Did it fall on you? No. You okay? Okay, it's okay. It happens. Yeah, come. Okay. I'm trying to try something.
So you see how everything went on peacefully? The same juice of glass toppled, but the reaction was all different. Did you find it? Who would say, get up and tell me, what was the change now? Please, I want an answer. Who will answer? Just put up your hand. Yes, just stand up and give me the answer. What was the change now? What happened now? Please get up and say.
Change is the way the father responded now the kid abused.
The response of the father. The change in the response of the father. His anger. Earlier he was angry, and in this scenario he did not lose anger. He managed his anger. He wanted to be angry, but he managed it very nicely. And his management of anger, what happened? It made the day good for all of them, 3 of them, the whole family. So you see, it's a reaction. These 2 scenarios make us understand how our reaction actually works. So 90% it is, the situation is there, it has to be there. The situation was the same. In both the scenarios, situation is the same. Same glass of juice, same dining table, same breakfast table, same breakfast they are having. Everything is same. The family is same. The mother, father, daughter. But just the reaction of one person, it helped the situation to be much better. So 90% the situation is there, 10% is our reaction that makes it happen. So that is how the theory of karma also works. We are bound to be in a situation. It's 99% we are bound to be in that situation. 10% is our reaction that makes our lives. 10% is the reaction to that situation that makes our destiny. We were bound, it's there. Like I can say that we are bound to be in a situation. Suppose I was bound to be born in a family in India, and then I was bound to be like my previous karmas. They helped me to be advanced spiritually. But then I went to the temple. The situation is that my karmas made it so, the previous good karmas or some little bit of bhakti made it so, the situation for me that I reached the temple. But now it is up to me how I react in the temple. Do I take what they are saying, or do I do not take it and just leave it? Do I get affected by what they are saying, or do I not get affected by what they are saying? Or simply I hear for 1 year and leave it out from the other. I don't accept what they say. So accepting the thing or not accepting, it's my freedom. So 10% the reaction is your freedom. 90% the situation had to be that. But 10% is your reaction that is going to help to build it up or to spoil it. So that's what the minute independence Krishna talks of in the Bhagavad Gita. That is the minute independence of the freedom of your reaction. The reaction is our freedom. How we react to the situation. So we will always have situations will be the same. We make them adverse or we say they are very favorable. So there is always positivity in negativity. There is a positive way to solve a problem. We can always refuse the negative way. We can actually not go on the negative way and take the positive direction. That is up to us. A train is bound to, the train, where does it actually, it is stationed, how the train works. We say, it always has to work on the railway track. It cannot work on the roads. So it is there on the railway track. Now it is up to the driver whether he puts the gear for the front or he takes a reverse gear. Whether he takes the engine at the back or in the front he leads the train. It's up to the driver. So it's up to us how we handle a situation. We are responsible for it. That is why Krishna said in the Bhagavad Gita, the karmas can be changed. Karmas are not eternal. Action, reaction is not eternal. Your reaction is not eternal. You can control your reaction. Like you see all the scene here. So neither was the glass of juice was the cause of anger, nor was the table, the dining table was the cause of anger, that breakfast table early morning, that was not the cause of anger. The cause of anger lied in the reaction of that person itself. He was the cause. His reaction was the cause. So likewise, it's the reaction, 10% is 90% the situation will be there, 10% is what makes it. Our reaction will make it worse or it will make it better. So the anger is, if it is managed well, the situation will become favorable for us. If the anger is not managed well, it will make us, it will adverse the situation, it will make it worse for us. So once I was listening to a sannyasi, he was in America, New York, and he was he called for a cab driver. He was standing at the roadside edge. So he had to go somewhere. So he called for the taxi. And the taxi driver, he stopped there. And this sannyasi, he got into the taxi. And there was another car parked there. And that car driver did not see the taxi being just parked there. And he also put the ignition on and he put the gear on. And it was like both the cars were going to collide. But then the taxi driver, he saved the car from getting hit. But the other person got really angry. It was fault of no one, because it was the carelessness of that driver. It could be because he did not see the taxi. Actually, we just put our hand and we make the taxi stop and the taxi immediately stops. So that driver did not see perhaps the taxi was being stopped there. So it could be that it was no one's fault at that moment. But the other car, the driver of the other car, he really got angry. And he started abusing this taxi driver in which this sannyasi was sitting. So he started abusing the taxi driver. Now the taxi driver was just smiling away. He did not offer any reaction to that. He did not give any reaction to whatever he was saying. He simply smiled at him and said bye to him and drove off. Now this sannyasi, he is a big sannyasi in ISKCON. He told this story. And he is sitting in the car and he asked the taxi driver, "It was not your fault, I know. But then why did you not react? Why did you not tell that driver? He was abusing you. He was talking names to you. He was acting so bad with you. Why did you not stop and tell him that it's not your fault, it was his fault?" The taxi driver said that I did not want to indulge with any argument with him. Actually, he was boiling with anger at that time, that person. No matter what I would have told him, he would not have listened to me. Because when we are angry, all our doors are shut. Our mind is shut. Our intelligence is off. We do not accept anything from anybody when we are full of anger. And the taxi driver said that person was full of anger. So when it says, when the milk is boiling, it's so much boiling, you cannot put your hand into it. You will get burnt. So he said, I know I would have got burnt. That's why I did not give any reaction to what he was saying. And secondly, I did not want to take his garbage. He wanted to give his garbage to me. He must have had some fight in the morning and now he was frustrated and he was taking it out on me. And I did not take it because I don't want to carry it throughout the day and give it to somebody else. Anger is very infectious. One thing one must remember, anger is very infectious. When you get angry, you give it to somebody and he will give it to some other person and the chain goes on. You must have experienced that in your life. Has somebody experienced? They want to share their experience? I want this to be an interactive. I don't want to give a lecture. It's not a lecture. I want you to come up with points. Has anybody experienced such thing? I'm very surprised. You all are very saintly persons. You never have anger here. So Kenya is the place where people don't get angry. In India, we do get angry. We have a lot of things like this on the road, you know. If one car overtakes the other person gets angry on that. How come you overtake me? So, anybody wants to share any experience? Nobody. That's very surprising. And I would request the leaders of these students, they can share, they can speak something on them. They can ask their students to speak out something. They know their students well. Maybe they are shy to speak before me. No? Yes, somebody should get up. Don't let me be angry on you. So, yeah, here somebody wants to say? Yes, please get up and say. Hare Krishna, be louder, I think so. Do you have another mic? No? You come here, walk here to me, use this mic, speak here. Otherwise nobody will understand what you are saying. Come here. You can just come behind me. Yeah. Come on, say yes. Yeah.
Hare Krishna. So, I was just thinking when the slides were going farther and farther into the discussion for today about anger, the causes of anger. So, my experience is actually somebody else's experience that happened recently because of a lack of how to manage or control this emotion. So recently in the news, it was reported that a lady had stabbed her husband. I don't know if anyone of you had seen it. Has anyone seen it? Right? So there was a lady that stabbed her husband when he came home after 1 p.m. She ended up stabbing her husband and killing her 2 children. So I was on Instagram and scrolling, I clicked on this article only to realize that it was my childhood friend who had lost his 2 children by his wife. So I was so shocked. I was thinking, oh my God. The girl was just my age. Her husband, still my age. They had 2 kids, and they were dead. These things we hear in news, we see it happening to other people, and it happens very close to us. So it's so important and it's so crucial to be able to know where anger is coming from, to know how it's not just a matter of, oh, I'm upset, you did this, but there are reasons. So coming to just see the causes of anger, jealousy, frustration, sadness, I'm now a little bit more understanding what this lady could have been going through. So many emotions that just led her to forget that I might be angry at my husband, but now I've killed my children as well. And she tried to commit suicide in the end. Her husband, this friend of mine, managed to escape. So she locked the door and she went and murdered her children and tried to commit suicide. It just happened a couple of days ago. And now, but she survived. Both the husband and the wife have survived, but the children are dead. So she's going to wake up and realize her anger is going to simmer down, just the way Mataji is talking about this boiling milk. She's going to wake up and realize in this heat of the moment, my children are gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. So we can see what anger can do, what damage anger can do. So anger is an emotion that can damage. So in Bhagavad Gita, if you pick it up, Krishna talks about anger. He says in this second chapter and 62 verse, he says, I'll just read the translation with you. While contemplating the objects of senses, a person develops attachment for them, and from such attachment, lust develops, and from lust, anger arises. So anger, the cause of anger is lust, and lust is all what we talked about. Jealousy, fear, these are the signs of lust. So Prabhupada says, how lust can be transformed into love. So we'll just go down a few more slides and then we'll talk about this shloka also. So our reaction, like this Mataji, she said, what happens? The anger, it results in, it spoils our relation, it spoils our whole day, it disturbs the family life, it disturbs our life. It disturbs our life with friends, family. It affects all spheres of our life. Anger actually leaves nothing untouched. Anger, it is not like that other emotions are maybe with one person. We will be good to one and not good to other. But anger is actually when you are angry on one person, you are bound to be anger, your anger will reflect in your appearance, in your emotions, the whole day it will be there until the point it settles down, till you cool down. And the cooling period for everybody is different, it varies. Like she said, that mother, her friend, she must have had this penting up, it was pent up in her. She didn't, about her husband, maybe whatever she had in her mind. This was going on for many days, many months, many years. And that one day it came out like a volcano, where the children had to take the brunt. So we should never let this happen with us. Our anger should be managed well. We should know the cause of our anger and we should manage it. We won't be able to eradicate it, as I said, but we should try hard to manage it. We'll come to in the conclusion we will come. How? So now the verse is there on your screens, how anger is born. Krishna says, anger is born dhaitam vishana punsa. While contemplating the objects of the senses, a person develops attachment for them. So when you contemplate, when you meditate on the objects of the senses, your senses have, your five main senses, they have their objects. Like eyes want to see something, ears want to hear something, skin wants to touch something. So these senses, they contemplate, they meditate, you get obsessed with the objects of the senses. And then you get attached to those objects. And when you get attached to those, the lust develops. The lust becomes more strong. We say, no, the lust, you have a lust for power, you have a lust for money, you have lust for name, fame. Those who are lusty for name, they will try to get famous by infamous things also. They'll do infamous things to get famous because they have the lust for this. So lust is very dangerous. When lust develops, from lust, anger arises. So anger is coming from the lust. So one should control the lust at the nascent stage, when it's just blooming, budding. One should control it there and then. So it says here, the Bhagavad Gita talks about this. The sense, it says meditate on the objects of senses, like buying a car, you're obsessed with it. And then your attachment, your lust. Krishna says, when you fulfill one desire, the second desire takes birth. So the lust can never be satiated. You can never fulfill your lust. So anger is there when lust is not, your desire is not fulfilled. So Bhagavad Gita then talks about, in the 2.63, the next verse itself, Krishna says, from anger now, what happens? Anger is very powerful emotion, as I said. From anger, complete delusion arises. Complete delusion. Your mind gets totally bewildered. You don't understand what's happening. When person is angry, we just heard what this Mataji said, that when a person is angry, she harmed her own children in that fit of anger. So anger is very dangerous. So from delusion, bewilderment of memory, And when memory is bewildered, intelligence is lost. So like this is a case study, what she said is exactly what is being said here. That when anger arises, delusion happens, bewilderment of memory, she in the fit of rage, she forgot that they were her own children. She had given birth to them. She had taken so much pain, kept them in her womb for 9 months, and she delivered them. So in fit of rage, she forgot. She was angry on her husband, and that anger the poor children had to take, and she killed them. So what happens is, from delusion, bewilderment of memory, and from memory, when it's bewildered, intelligence is lost. You will lose your all intelligence when you're angry. One should understand this. So never ever manage your anger. Don't get angry, because this proves that you're not intelligent. An intelligent person is never angry. An intelligent person means who's sincerely and honestly intelligent. He's never angry. He remains always cool. Only it says the stupid persons are angry. It said that. So it's intelligence, and anger has got other sides also. We can be angry when there are other sides, like when there is somebody blaspheming the devotees, when somebody is blaspheming God, Krishna, then we can be angry, but not violent. We can just tell them and we should not lose our temper. We should remain calm, and with folded hands, with full humility, we should tell them, said, please don't do this, don't blaspheme others, don't criticize others. So we should not lose our cool. We should remain angry, we should be angry at the words, but don't lose your cool. So anger does is, intelligence is lost, and when intelligence is lost, one falls down again into the material pool. Krishna says, if you will not manage your anger, you will again fall down, again back and back again to this loka, this Mrityu loka, this planet, again and again you will come back. You will not go out of the cycle of birth and death. You will not get liberated. And liberation is not you. It's not that at the end, that when we'll die, I will be liberated. No. You have to be liberated from these emotions right now. Then only you are liberated at the end also. So this is actually, one will fall down again into the material pool. So now we are coming to the end of the class. It says how you can control your anger. It's a very small PPT, I got it, because I didn't want to, actually I know it's a working day for tomorrow for all of you. So how to control anger? The foremost thing to control anger is control your mind. So how do we control our mind? We control our mind by meditation. Meditation is the only way to control your mind. Other day I was meeting somebody from here, a local, and they said that India is very famous for its medication, and I said yes, for meditation also. Medication and meditation both. India is famous for the medication of the physical body as well as for the mind also, the mental status. So when we connect to the Supreme, when we chant, what happens? Mind is controlled. When mind is controlled, senses are controlled. Mind is the director of all senses. Mind controls all senses. Mind tells you what you want to see. Mind tells you what you want to hear. Mind tells you what you want to speak. Often you must be experiencing this word, oh, my mind is saying that I want to do this. So, mind actually controls all the senses. So, and if the senses are controlled, the greed will be controlled. And when the greed is controlled, the anger will be controlled. The greed is, the selfish people get angry. This lady we talked about, she was selfish. She didn't try to understand her husband. If there was some problem, it could be solved. It could be solved with a calm mind, with a mind that is controlled. But she had an uncontrolled mind. She did not think twice. She let her mind, her senses loose. She let them control her, overpower her. So that is why the anger went out of her hands. And we usually say it's fit of rage. Fit of rage is, that fit means that you were totally out of your mind, out of your senses. So mind actually takes away all your senses, takes away all your intelligence. So if you chant the holy name, if you do the meditation, you control your mind. Mantra meditation means mantra. Mantra means control the mind. How to control the mind? Man means mind. In Sanskrit we say the mind is called man. And tra means how to control it. So mantra means how to control your mind. So the Maha Mantra what we chant here, it's Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So this is the mantra. And when we chant this, it's 100%, it's guaranteed, you will be able to control your mind. You will be able to control your senses. You will be able to manage your anger. Then second is, what we eat, that makes our mind. It's given in the scriptures. In the Vedas, it is said, what we eat, it makes our mind. It says in Hindi, we say, it's jaisa ann vaisa man. It says, what you eat, your mind is made of that. And what you, actually it says, the mind is made of the grains you eat, and the thoughts come out in the mind. All the thoughts, before becoming an action, they originate in your mind. Am I right? You always first think, and then you put it into action. Then you speak, and then the action. So all that, whatever you think, and where does it take place? The birthplace of every thought is mind. So what we eat makes our mind. The scriptures say that. The Vedas say that. So if we eat sattvic food, if we eat the food that is sanctified, that is offered to the Supreme Lord and it's free from, it says, there are three kinds of food also Krishna talks of. There is one food that is in mode of ignorance, another in mode of passion, and the third is mode of goodness. If you eat a food that is in mode of goodness at least, it will help you. It will help you to retain the knowledge. And if you offer the food to Krishna and then you eat, that food has got a lot of power in it. It's a sanctified food, it is called. So this food purifies our consciousness. Everybody can give a try. At least we always tell to newcomers, give a try for 2 months, 3 months, and you will see the difference. If you don't see the difference, you can go back to your old life. But just give a try. Give and do an experiment. So it purifies your consciousness. And then Krishna talks about an example here in the 2nd chapter of a tortoise. Tortoise has got very, very soft, he's got a hard covering and he's got very soft, his body parts are very soft. So likewise our senses are very, very soft. But if we have a strong covering with us, and that strong covering is the chanting of the holy name, that is the power. If we have that with us, so when we are attacked by the outside emotions, when we are attacked by them, we go under like the tortoise when it is attacked, it takes away all his body parts into the hard shell to protect himself. So likewise, if we are attacked by the emotions, especially the emotion of anger, we should also contract ourselves. We should also take all our senses, we should pull them and take them under the covering of the holy name, the chanting, the meditation. So that is going to help us. That is going to, we withdraw the senses from their sense objects. Krishna talks of that. Pull your senses from the sense objects. And how you will be successful? When you will chant the covering. Prabhupada says, the chanting of the holy name is the umbrella we carry. It's raining outside. We need some shelter. We need something so that we should not get wet. So we carry an umbrella. So likewise, the chanting of the holy name, the meditation, it's an umbrella for us. It protects us. It helps us to have a cool mind. Because we actually, we go into the shelter of the holy name. It's it's got a hard covering like the tortoise has it. So tips to avoid anger, we'll go there, the last, that we should immediately, if anger is coming up in the situation, like the scenario we saw, we should, if there is some tinge of anger coming up in us, we should leave the place immediately. Leave that place. Go out into the fresh air. Go somewhere. Remain alone sometime. Let your anger subside. Let it cool down. Do not say anything. Just leave the place and let it cool down. Delay the reaction. The more you will delay the reaction, more cool you will be. You will understand the situation. Take a overview, take a bird view of the situation. That is very important. Sometimes when anger comes, it's very difficult to think of all this, At that moment, you want to set that person right first, and then you say, I'll think later. That is the bewilderment. That is you losing your intelligence. We have to train our mind. We have to train ourselves. Krishna talks about it. He tells Arjuna, training is must. Practice. He says, practice will help you. Abhyaste konteya. He says to Arjuna, please practice. Practice. How will you practice? Chant. Chant more. When we chant, the meditation, the mind will start cooling down. It will help us. It will help us. This meditation will help us. So, delay reaction and then forgive and forget. Don't be angry on the person. Don't give tit for tat. One thing is very important in meditation when we take up, don't ever give tit for tat. One person speaks to you badly, don't retaliate with the same language. Train yourself not to retaliate with the same language. Leave the place. If the bad words are coming from that direction, leave the place. Don't take the garbage. Think that he's throwing the garbage on you. Why do you want to take the garbage? Don't take the garbage. And never give back the garbage. Never be angry to any other person. Train your mind. No, I will not be angry to that person. I will chant and cool down. In any situation, I will give the reaction, like the second scenario you saw, where the father was cool. He had cooled down. He had mellowed down. The glass of juice spilled over, but his reaction was perfect. He said, "It's okay, honey." He helped the child also at that moment. We saw the first scenario where the child was also given the child was fearful and of the father when the juice was spilled. In the second situation, the same juice glass toppled, but the child said sorry and the father also said, "It's okay, honey. It happens sometimes." The reaction was perfect. So our reaction should be like that. We should understand. So forgive and forget, and don't run after material desires. The material things will give frustration, they will give anger, if you will run after them. If you will run after the spiritual world, we will run after meditation. Oh, I want to meditate, I want to do japa. Then you see your mind will cool down and you will not be actually running after the material things, and the material things will not disturb you. Everything material is temporary. We have to understand. And why do we waste our time for temporary things? Why do we waste our time for them? These things are going to give us frustration. These things are going to lead us nowhere. I didn't have to give like that case study what she said. Yes, we have seen the truth that happens in the world. It's happening in the world. So we are being responsible citizens. We should take it that we will be nice human beings. We want to spread love. We want to be friendly to others. So anger has no place in the world where there is. Actually, anger is another form of hatred. So we don't want to spread hatred. We want to spread love. So we won't be angry. We will love each other. We will break. Like I travel all over the world, and why do I go? I always tell that I want to break the walls, break the barriers, and build bridges. That's why I travel. That's why I go and speak in other countries. I want everybody, we all should be united. We all should be like it says, Krishna says, you all are my family. The whole world, whole universe is my family. Every person is my family. So I go out and reunite with my family. That's what I do. I want to reunite with my family. That's the real love. And then when we love each other, there is no place for hatred, there is no place for anger. Hari Bol. Hare Krishna. Yeah, that's why I was worried.
Matsiji, is it okay if anyone has a question, they can come to you personally? Would you mind?
No, of course, most welcome.
Yeah, so we won't take questions and answers for the event of time because some have to go to work,
I know.
go to school. But we'd like to thank you very much for coming. We hope you can keep on coming. Next time when you come, you can teach us about greed.
Yes.
Today we learned about anger. And anger, if you want to stop anger, one thing I picked up from the class, it all depends on your attitude and where you can stop it. So thank you very much. I hope I can practice this.
Thank you.
Let us chant for Mataji together.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So everybody, I could see everybody chanted so nicely, and I really thank you all. Keep this good work going on, keep on chanting, and I know you all will be free of anger one day. You will all be able to manage the anger. So I extend all the good wishes to all of you. Thank you everybody, and thanks a lot. Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So did all of you liked it or no? Any reaction? Just give me one reaction before I switch it off. Did you all like it or no? Thank you. Thank you very much for that. Hare Krishna.